So He Whakaputanga's full name is He Whakaputanga o Te Rangatiratanga or Nu Tireni, and that's usually translated as a Declaration of Independence of New Zealand. And it was first signed at Waitangi on the 28th of October 1835. So we're celebrating its 190th birthday this year. Very exciting, looking forward to its 200th birthday as well, and many beyond that. It's signed by 52 rangatira from around the country, but on that first occasion on the 28th of October, it was signed by 34 rangatira, the leading rangatira of the North. Lots of big names that lots of people would recognise, loom really large in our early 19th century history. From the beginning of its life in 1835, it's lived up to 1840, it's lived with Te Tiriti o Waitangi. There's a saying in Ngāpui, ko He Whakaputanga te matua, ko Te Tiriti te tamaiti. The He Whakaputanga is the parent and the treaty is the child. They've always been together in their life, and you can really see when you read the text of Te Tiriti o Waitangi, it talks about the Confederation of the United Tribes, Te Whakamininga o ngā rangatira. That's referring to those rangatira who signed He Whakaputanga. So it's really closely linked to Te Tiriti and been together with it all its life. So its fortunes and its journeys have closely followed those of Te Tiriti. It's narrowly escaped destruction in a fire in 1841, just being saved by being chucked out the window by an Ontuit Records clerk who lived up the road. It's been nibbled by rats here and there a little bit, sometime in the 19th century. It's been sent with Te Tiriti over the hill here to the Wairarapa for safekeeping during World War II in case Wellington was bombed or suffered damage in World War II, and then it's come to rest in the National Archives where we look after it, and here in He Tohu where it has a beautiful purpose-built home for now. It's so interesting to look at how thoughts about He Whakaputanga are coming to the fore in recent years. When I started out working, learning to interpret Te Tiriti in He Whakaputanga in about 2010, for many years He Whakaputanga had been viewed as a bit of a footnote in Pākehā historiography at any rate. It was considered at best a catalyst for Te Tiriti o Waitangi and not taken seriously by many people as an independent assertion of sovereignty of the rangatira hapu and iwi Māori who signed He Whakaputanga. When we were putting He Tohu together, there were three interesting things that were happening at the same time. The first was Mātiki mai Aotearoa, the constitutional conversation counterpart that was put together by Professor Margaret Mutu and Moana Jackson. And they travelled the country, hundreds of hui, talking to Māori, talking to communities about what they would like to see New Zealand's constitutional arrangements be. And all up and down the country, people talked about He Whakaputanga, even folks from those iwi who had not signed He Whakaputanga, referring back to it as a statement, a pau in the ground of sovereignty for Māori and an example of how our constitutional arrangements here might evolve. There was also the Ministry of Justice led constitutional conversation that was happening at the same time, and coming from quite a different lens, coming from the government sort of legal focused place. That conversation also recommended that when Aotearoa looks at its constitutional conventions in the future, that He Whakaputanga be considered with its, its statements of sovereignty that it contains within it.